do this. This is good. I just want to point out, people think we're mean. Frozen sent me this.
In Chicago, there is a growing group of young black athletes, and they're learning how to play a new sport while gaining
Royce,
a
you might
lot.
want to show it.
I don't think I should, but okay.
In Chicago, there is a growing group of young black athletes, and they're learning how to play a new sport while gaining a life-saving skill in the water.
This is racist, right?
I feel like it's racist.
It feels like black kids are getting in the pool, being an item on the news. In itself feels racist.
Feels racist, right?
Like,
Yeah.
Like, wow, the black people are learning how to swim. We're gonna go to so and so with the details, right? That just feels weird.
They go to Julian High School, and that's a high school that is known for basketball, baseball, and football.
No shit.
I mean,
Do they have a lot of top, recruits out of there too? I'm gonna guess.
this feels like when you're not trying to be racist,
And you're being extra
but
racist.
you're being more racist than we've ever been.
But not water polo until now. It's not the kind of sport the Julian Jaguars are known for, but
Okay, stop.
You're
can't
doing
make
this.
those jokes.
You're doing this. The news is saying this. I'm not saying it.
these days, water polo is appealing to more and more black athletes. Coach Marshall
Yeah, it just makes it harder for them to steal the ball because they're in water.
tells students if you know how to play soccer, you can learn this sport.
In soccer, you have to use you kick it with your foot. In this particular case,
I didn't know that.
in water polo, you only catch the ball with one hand.
So how is it
and
like
move
soccer?
it around with one hand?
It sounds like
it's like soccer because black people also don't do it.
it's just like soccer. Like, you know how soccer, you got to do everything with your feet, right?
Yeah.
Well, in this game, it's just like soccer. You do everything with your hands. He's like, wait, what? That sounds nothing like soccer. It sounds more like football.
Well, that's how soccer's played in Rand McNally.
It sounds more like basketball to a certain extent, right?
Okay, I didn't hear that wrong. She said water polio.
Yeah, did she really?
Yeah.
Okay, I got to back up.
But she's on the water polo coach.
Polio.
But she's the one that's in charge of it. She's saying it wrong?
Hold on. Let's see. Is it further back or right around here?
Right around there.
All right, here we go.
Foot. In this particular case, in water polo, you only catch.
It sounds like she said polo
she
you.
mumbled a word, yeah.
Yeah, I wanna give people shit at all times, but it sounds like she said in water polo you. But she
Okay.
kinda was like polo you. I think she botched saying in polo you, not polio.
That's how Brendan Schaub would talk.
Yeah, Brendan Schaub would call it water polio. You ever play water polio?
I did with Pete Davidson's dick once, bro. I swear to God. I swear to God,
Just
bro.
his dick, B.
Can you imagine making people that have polio play water polo? How fucking mean that would be?
Or amazing.
No, you fucking...
Well, you don't really need your legs in the water.
Just
Yeah, you do.
drowning. You're just drowning them.
You have to doggy paddle the entire time.
So you just got to get those arms, that upper body
And
strength.
I feel like the
I'm sorry.
I
Is
feel
there
like
something wrong with that?
I feel like the wheelchair would weigh them down.
I think you would take the wheelchair off.
Then that's not funny.
I don't think you'd.
I said it was interesting.
Just wheeling somebody into a pool.
Hey, here's a new sport.
The ball with one hand and move it around.
There you go, Professor Xavier. Think your way out of this one, and you dump them in a pool. There you go, X-Man.
And then just turn to Magneto and go, you could have done this like 30 years ago.
What took you so long?
Jesus Christ.
You could have controlled this wheelchair with your mind and pushed them in a pool.
Hand. It's really an exciting game. It really is.
It's typically not the sport you see played in Chicago's inner city.
You guys are being.
You think since it's Chicago water polo thing, they have to change the nets to the metal ones like they do at the basketball courts but for water polo?
Chains.
Yeah, chains.
In fact, the USA Water Polo Racial Equity and Reform Task Force said,
We
The
have
what?
a fucking what?
And how much does that cost?
Wait. We have a what? A fucking what? I'm backing this up.
That was.
I mean,
was inner city. In fact, the USA Water Polo Racial Equity and Reform Task Force says most.
How much is that costing us?
do we need that?
I mean,
It's specifically for water polo. It's a water polo task force.
Rand Paul's ears are bleeding right now.
I seriously, if you told me that this was a parody, right? Like, doesn't that sound like something like Ryan Long or Danny would have came up with?
Yeah.
Like, I'm from the USA Water Polo fucking Diversity Enforcement
Or
Bureau.
a Family Guy episode.
Yeah, it's just so out there.
It's so
sounding.
weird.
Reform Task Force says most players in the United States are predominantly affluent white individuals.
And
Senior Caleb Robinson was a football
Warden
player.
Gordon's saying there's a 1,352% increase in gun violence committed in pools now.
come on, man.
Senior Caleb Robinson was a football player who never even considered the sport.
At first I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. But then she was persistent. My coach, she kept coming around every now and then.
Rubbing my penis and stuff. I didn't like it.
At first, I didn't like it, but then, it was like, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Like, yeah, you should come to the pool every once. And then that one day I actually did come. I actually had a whole bunch of fun.
Playing the game was one thing, but asking them to wade into the deep end, well, that was another.
Come on!
Why are you allowed to do this?
Look, I want to be clear. We have not broken toss once in this entire thing. They have.
What?
I don't. This is a great story. We don't have to have racy jokes. They're doing it for us.
You're acting like seeing a couple black kids in a pool. You're reacting the way like Africans react when you do street magic in front of them. You know what I mean? Like
They think you're a wizard.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you just do a simple card trick and they're like, oh, like you're acting like I've seen black people in the water.
So have I.
I live
not
in Florida.
their hair.
I live in Florida. I see them in the water
A lot, actually,
all
yeah.
the time here.
That's a really
We
good
don't
point.
have that stereotype
Not in
of like,
Florida, we were,
whoa, a black guy in the pool? Get out of town.
Why is this so confusing for you?
You usually don't see black women in the pool
Because of the hair. That's what
all
I said.
this-
They'll go to here. They'll go to like the boob level.
Yeah.
But they won't go above because of the hair.
But
They
I
will
don't
sit
know-
with their feet in the water and do this.
But I don't know any black people in Florida that aren't doing fucking cannonballs into the deep end. Like
No, not in Florida. That doesn't actually. That doesn't really work here.
I think it's more has to do with the fact that you guys live in a frozen wasteland, and that even if you owned a pool in Chicago, it would be open like a month and a half out of the year.
Have you seen the pool at Shaq's house? Because you brought it up earlier. It's huge.
But I think this is more. You're acting like, whoa, black kids playing water polo, and it's like I think that has more to do with like geographics than demographics.
Asian man with a large penis next at 5.
It's like it's more geography than it is.
It's not you,
race.
Frozen.
I know even in New York, I knew a lot of people that just didn't get in the water a lot. Like they just once in a while in the summer you might go once or twice, but it's like the beach isn't as big of a cultural thing in Chicago.
Well, no, that's not true. Because even in New York, I've seen the movies. The Dominican and black kids are playing in the open fire hydrant.
That's true.
Yeah.
The fire hydrant's not.
That's not a pool though.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I think it's more of a geographic thing. You're turning it into a race thing, which is weird.
It's the same reason. The same reason you don't have water polo teams in Chicago is the same reason you don't have a hockey team in Miami. Like in the fucking retarded.
Florida Panthers, bro.
I'm sure you do. I know I don't know sports, but you get my fucking point.
So bizarre, man. I'm just telling you guys, here in Florida, black people are all the time going into pools that I won't go into. But, and that's just the way it is
the
around
community
here.
pools.
Yeah.
Are
Public pools.
Panthers known for their agility on ice?
They're not great on it.
Okay.
Especially when they didn't even know how to swim.
The defense was really intimidating.
Oh my God!
3 seconds without them saying some racist shit.
We just did a 10-minute soliloquy on the fucking thing but they just said it. They just said it. First off, based. Oh my God.
I actually had a whole bunch of fun.
Playing the game was one thing, but asking them to wade into the deep end, well, that was another, especially when they didn't even know how to swim.
It feels like a black and white racist movie before Jim Crow was like taken away, right? Doesn't it?
Because these little pickaninnies didn't even know they could float. And you're like, what the fuck?
They have
You're the news.
They have their own swimming pool. It's just 3/5 smaller. What?
Deep end was really intimidating for me. If I didn't try it, then I wouldn't know how to swim. And I wouldn't be playing water polo for Julian.
That's one of the first things that they say is, you know, I can't go down here in the deep water. That's too deep. And my conversation to them is, but
boy, you a grown ass man. You know, I guarantee you that's her. I'm already picking up her real attitude as a boy. You a grown ass man. You're gonna learn how to swim. Just throws him in. This is gonna be one of those movies that if this was in the '90s, Whoopi Goldberg would be playing the coach, right? And it would
One of those underdog stories.
It would be a movie in the '90s
like
too.
The water polo version of Cool Runnings.
Exactly.
we don't swim on the bottom of the pool. It doesn't matter if it's 7 feet or if it's 3 feet.
It wasn't a real fear of drowning. It was just, all right, I don't want to drown, so let's try to stay above the water. But
Good. That's
I
a
had
good
fun
philosophy.
for the most part.
It's called swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
And I was always looking forward to using water polo as a stepping stone to help me get better at football.
Coach
I actually like this kid. You know, he seems like a nice kid.
G is also a Chicago police officer.
I could tell. I could tell.
She looks like a Chicago police cruiser. I thought they said we weren't giving tanks to the police departments anymore.
Deep dish Chicago police officer over here. Officer Uno's Pizza.
Officer who started this team from scratch 9 years ago to help her heal from her own PTSD and fears. She says what students are
Look, to be fair, normally I would roll my eyes, but if you're a fucking police officer in Chicago, I think they are allowed to have PTSD, right?
learning here are lifetime skills.
They're learning to depend on each other and, you know,
Oh, these particular individuals.
collaborate with other students and learning how.
And basically, by getting these black kids to play water polo, I got them all collected in one room, and I could keep an eye on them.
She looks like she's about to tell us she has a bleached asshole.
Life works
Artemis.
when they get out of here, so when they get a job, they're going to deal with other people. So they got to learn how to work together with other people. Water polo brings that to the table.
So anytime you're able to go ahead and get buy-in and student interest, so just get them comfortable, because for a lot of black and brown students, they don't get a chance to swim. So now just really getting that buy-in and then getting them to learn.
Why?
But I mean, do they not get a chance, or is it just not an?
Sometimes they don't want to. Like I understand.
Force a
that.
lot of weird interests on people all the time with your little tinkering, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, maybe they'd rather play football. Like that's on them, right?
The sport the right way. So once they come.
Also, to be fair, like you've never heard of a water polo getting a black guy out of the hood. In basketball, that happens, right? Well, there'll be a guy that's in the hood, and then now he's making $10 million a year playing for a team. There's not. How much do professional water polo people make? That's something they show on ESPN2 Sunday at 4 in the morning.
$26,000 a year.
Oh, God.
The bare minimum required to file tax returns.
Cushy.
And just get comfortable with the water.
Julian's principal, Lawrence Spalding, says for
Oh
students.
yeah, hey coach, you gonna hop in the water? Oh hell no.
Not me, man. You missed me with that shit.
The water.
Julian's principal, Lawrence Spalding.
About
Name that-
24,000 a year,
I was kidding.
Oh my God.
but they have to go to Europe.
But that's all your money. Well, I guess they probably pay for that, but that's still.
Yeah, but so that's how much a professional European water polo player makes.
How long is the season? Like 2 months?
Yeah, I don't know anything about water polo.
I'm gonna check that.
I'm
out.
basically an inner city Chicago black kid. I know nothing about water polo.
We're water for that matter.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
Says for students, there is a special kind of pride that comes with being risk takers and trailblazers.
That uniqueness is just great for them to.
They're going to make this a movie. mark my words, pay attention to what I am saying. There's going to be a movie. It might be a direct to Paramount Plus movie or direct to Peacock movie, but they're going to make a movie out of this.
Waterproof.
Okay. Waterproof. That's a good name. I like that. I like that. Oh, you know, it's another one. Sink or Swim would be a good name for the movie.
Sink or Swim is good.
Right. The coach, recast, Idris Elba will be the black coach.
I like
the
it,
principal.
yeah.
This will be Idris Elba, right? So we'll have Idris Elba playing the principal of the school, James Spalding, named after the basketball. And
I have a better name for the movie.
Sure.
Can you mute us?
Oh, you sound like my grandfather. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
It's a little wordy. You know.
Oh, Stephen Wallen, Out of the Deep End.
Out of the Deep End's a good one. I like that. I like that. I like that. All right, enough. Fucking Jesus Christ, Mark. Holy fuck. That was very funny. And you know what? Maybe even like 5 years ago, you could have got away with that joke. But you can't now.
So there's total in all of the water polo divisions in the U.S. There's 1,600 athletes. And of the 83 total teams, there's only like 4 scholarships per team.
Okay, so this is going to get you out of the hood.
This is not saving you.
This is not getting you out of the hood, right? Play basketball is what you're saying. You're saying play basketball.
By the way, I'm looking on Twitter, and yes, that was the same Cody that molested a kid.
Is it
Already
really?
got the mug shots out. Yeah, this is
So
a lot of people.
My theory might be right there, Virgie.
Yeah, a lot of people are calling this shit out with this guy.
Okay.
And all you fucking right wingers that are riding his dick because he agrees with you on something. It's like, that's why sometimes you just have to, not.
Anyway.